Bess got me blackout drunk, then dumped me at the Meridian. Through bleary eyes I spotted a man so gorgeous it felt illegal, slapped 300 crumpled dollars on the table and announced, "You're hired, are you any good?" He blinked once, then curved a wicked little smile. "Try me and find out." Next morning, the mysterious black card in my pocket and I walked into the country's top design house for my first day of work. Then I saw the face I'd woken up next to framed by the panoramic windows of the CEO's office. Immaculate suit, Arctic poise, he tapped my resume with one spare finger. "Luna? As of today you're my personal assistant." Me, dear God, is it too late to quit? "Babe, men only slow your direct deposit, erase him." For the 18th time Best shoved a neon cocktail across the table. Under the club's seismic bass her words sounded like a cleansing spell. I'd been dumped. 3 years with ex-boyfriend, and the minute I started hearing wedding bells he calmly informed me he was marrying the board member's daughter. Claimed he had no choice. Bullshit. I burned a shot down my throat, the liquor scorching a path to my stomach, and to the tears behind my eyes. No choice? Looks more like volunteering to be their prized son-in-law, you jerk. I grabbed the next glass and emptied it too. When Chloe decided I was sufficiently wasted she yanked me off the velvet banquette and hauled me down a strobing corridor. My brain was oatmeal, the ceiling spun like a disco ball. She shoved me through a door. "Got you the premium model, money's paid, enjoy the ride." Click, locked. Silence. A trace of cedar in the air steadied my teetering senses. I scrubbed a hand across my eyes and focused. A man stood silhouetted against the floor-to-ceiling windows, wide shoulders, tapered waist, a single outline promising enough voltage to buckle knees. Wow. That back could host a theme park slide. Apparently hearing me sway, he turned. Every recessed bulb felt like it swung to spotlight him. Dark brows, straight nose, blade-thin lips, a hand-tailored armor of midnight wool that screamed stupid money. But it was the stare, starlight lost at sea, that knocked a beat from my heart. Holy crap. This is the premium model? They upgraded the entire factory. He waited. Alcohol rocket fueled me. I tried the movie star move, finger under his chin, then my heel wobbled and I face-planted against his chest. Oof. His body was a granite wall. He steadied me, palms radiating heat through my silk top. I felt the ridges, definitely an 8-pack. Crimson, I scrambled upright. Show no weakness. I fished inside my crossbody, dredging up every bill I owned, 300-ish limp dollars. Stretching, I slapped the wad against his lapel. "You're it." I slurred. "So, good at the job?" His gaze slid from the money to my flushed face. 3-second pause, astonishment, amusement, pure mischief. He leaned in, breath feathering my ear. "Whether I'm top-shelf merchandise," a warm exhalation ticked my cheek, "you'll only know if you sample the goods." Morning after, my skull hosted a jackhammer. Foreign ceiling, foreign suite, the ghost of cedar still haunting the air. I jackknifed upright, fully clothed, thank heaven. Memory fragments flooded in like broken reels. I'd treated this god like an escort, and tipped him bus change. Luna, you catastrophic idiot. I searched, the suite was empty. On the nightstand, a matte black card and a hotel memo scrawled in aggressive calligraphy. Service fee, inadequate funds, top up if desired. Service fee? Had something happened? I'd blacked out, did we? I lifted the card. Black titanium, cryptic gold crest, clearly worth more than my annual rent. He thought 300 was too cheap? Is this a compliment or a slap? I muffled a scream, grabbed my dignity, and fled like a shoplifter. Only after I bolted the loft door did I remember. Today I started at Sterling, the titan of design I'd hacked through 5 interviews to reach. No way I'd be late. Shower, blazer, concealer, go. Outside the Sterling Tower, the sun ricocheted off steel and glass. Inside, marble glittered like money. Reception checked me in, HR toured me, then parked me at the assistant desk outside the executive office. "You're in the magic zone," the girl whispered. "Ethan often routes assignments straight through new blood he thinks is promising." I glowed, until the intercom lit. A voice like midnight bourbon crackled through the handset. "Black coffee, my office, now." That timbre, burned into my cortex, froze my blood. I prayed for coincidence while I brewed the cup, but my hands trembled so badly the saucer rattled. Knocked. "Come." Head down, I slid the mug onto the steel desk and pivoted to escape. "Stop." 2 syllables stapled my shoes to the carpet. I lifted my chin ounce by ounce. Ethan leaned back, immaculate and remote. My driver's license photo was clipped to the folder under his fingers. He read the Mandarin characters like tasting wine. "Sterling. 1. 1. I squeaked. The corner of his mouth lifted, twin to last night's promise, "Try me. From today you're my personal assistant." My inner voice shrieked 5 simultaneous expletives. He rounded the desk, each footstep a countdown. I retreated until my spine kissed the wall. "Running?" He arched a brow. "Think I bite?" "Worse, you annihilate." "Sterling, I'm just an intern. The role seems oversized." His shadow folded over me. "Funny. Last night you looked perfectly capable. Translation, you climbed me like a jungle gym." Tears threatened. I bowed so low my bangs swept my shoes. "I apologize. Alcohol hijacked my brain. Please treat me like expired milk, throw me out." He straightened, cuffs perfect. "Seeing me is now literally your job." Pause. "My calendar, my meals, my office inventory, starting now you're the gatekeeper." My mouth opened, closed. 24/7 surveillance. But Chen, family emergency, extended leave. No exit left. I stared at the ceiling tiles, bargaining with karma I must have torched in a past life. Just when I was ready to give up on life, I spotted a blind spot. How could he be the CEO of Sterling? Why had he shown up in that room at the Meridian last night? Could it be? A ridiculous idea popped into my head. Did he have a twin? Was the guy last night his identical brother? Yes. That had to be it. I grabbed that life-saving straw, eyes lighting up. I cautiously lifted my head and tested, "Sir, may I ask you something personal?" "Speak." Do you have any brothers? Like, a twin?" Ethan stared at me, gaze turning strange, as if I were an idiot. He stayed silent a few seconds, then slowly said, "I'm an only child." My last hope shattered. He was him, the man I'd paid for, my ultimate boss. The room spun, I clutched the table to stay upright. "Anything else?" he asked. "No, nothing," I answered, lifeless. "Then get back to work." Like a reprieved prisoner I bolted from the president's office. Back at my desk I collapsed, feeling hollow. The woman at the next desk pushed up her glasses. "You're the new intern, Luna?" I nodded weakly. "I'm Lily, your new colleague," she said, smiling. What did the president want? He's famous ice, we hardly breathe around him. What could I say? That I'd mistaken him for an escort last night and now must atone? I forced a smile uglier than crying. "The president made me his personal assistant." Lily's eyes bulged. "What? Personal assistant?" But Claire just left. She looked me up and down, curiosity and gossip blazing. "Girl, you're something. Huge opportunity, grab it." I gave a bitter smile. Opportunity? More like a death sentence. As I thought that, the internal phone flashed red. I quivered, lifting the receiver. The coffee's cold. Make it again. Ethan's icy voice. Revenge. Naked revenge has begun. I rose resignedly and headed to the pantry. That day I tasted true purgatory. Too hot. Too bitter. Layout's ugly, redo. I want these figures in 10 minutes, sorted. Ethan played the pickiest client, running me ragged. My legs almost broke. Yet every impossible demand I somehow met at the last second. Almost like he'd calculated my limit precisely. Illusion, he just wants me dead. Odder still, exhausted as I was, one glimpse of his face and my fatigue melted, replaced by weird joy. I'm sick, Stockholm Syndrome for sure. I shook my head to fling the thought away. Dumped and shocked, had to be mental whiplash. The following days I lived a bittersweet cubicle life. Bitter because this devil capitalist used me like a six-armed Neza. 7 a.m. sharp I had to be at the tower with breakfast and hand-ground coffee. Beans from a specific estate, water at exactly 192 F, milk foamed until a toothpick stood upright. Was he a measuring cup in his last life? By day I was his flash drive and errand girl. 1 second filing mountains, the next racing 30 floors to a subsidiary with urgent documents. Evenings, he worked late, I stayed. The vast office held only us and his keyboard clicks. Does he have no nightlife, or is tormenting me it? Huge black rings circled my eyes, I felt hollow. Yet sweet was real. Because around Ethan my mood lifted inexplicably, like warm water dissolving grit. And he seemed the same. Many times I sighed over heaps of folders, looked up, and caught him watching. Still stone-faced, but the corner of his mouth ticked upward. That fleeting curve was sunlight behind clouds, making my heart skip. Does he enjoy this too? I pinched my thigh the moment the thought arose. Wake up. He's your creditor. He's working you to the bone. That afternoon I tottered toward his office hugging files taller than me. Sterling, the documents. I dropped them, panting. Without lifting his eyes he pointed at another mountain, refile these by year and project. The pile blotted out the light. Kill me now. I started muttering curses. Tyrant. Devil. Capitalist. May you choke on water and trip on air. A knock interrupted. In glided a woman in Chanel, flawless makeup, thermos in hand. Zian, I made soup, try it, she cooed, yet her assessing gaze pinned me. I recognized her, Sophie, the VP's daughter and public pursuer of Ethan. He frowned coldly. Set it there. Sophie stayed, looming over me like a queen inspecting property. You're the new intern, disdain laced her tone. I nodded. Yes, Vance. Since when does an intern wander the president's office? She challenged. Before I could speak Ethan's frosty voice cut in. She's my assistant. Where else should she be? Sophie's smile froze. Zian, I only meant, an intern, so clumsy, might damage files. She glanced at my stack. Fire flared in me. Clumsy? I've been slaving for hours. Ethan set down his pen and leveled an arctic stare. I trust my assistant, he said, then colder, if you're done, leave. Don't disturb us. Us? The tiny word sent ripples across my heart. Sophie's face cycled red-white like dying neon. She shot me a venomous look, wait and see, then click-clacked out. Silence returned. I kept my head down, ears burning. Had he defended me? Illusion. He just wanted her gone so he could keep squeezing me. I peeked. He was reading, jaw tight. Sensing me he turned, our eyes locked. I dropped my gaze, heart hammering. What are you looking at? And nothing. He sniffed and refocused. After a moment I heard him murmur, almost sighing, "Clumsy oaf." My budding thrill withered. "See?" Still mocking. I yanked a folder, it slipped, whoosh, papers everywhere. Kill me now. I squatted to gather them, too hastily, thunk, forehead against the desk corner. Ow, tears popped. A warm hand brushed my hair aside, gently rubbing the lump. I looked up into Ethan's dark eyes. He crouched beside me, gaze exasperated, and worried. Another hallucination, must be the blow. Never saw anyone dumber, he muttered, fingers gentle. Calloused fingertips traced my skin, electricity zipped through me, half melting. We were inches apart, close enough to count lashes, to catch cedar and bergamot. My pulse thundered. And I saw his Adam's apple slide. After the headbang incident, the air between us shifted. He remained the picky, scathing boss, but the torment frequency dropped. When my coffee wasn't perfect, he only frowned, then drank it. Minor filing errors? He pointed them out instead of making me redo everything. And I grew used to being near him. A day without seeing him felt hollow. "Luna, you're doomed. You've fallen for your creditor." At noon I headed to the pantry for water and heard female colleagues gossiping inside. "Notice the president's different lately?" "Yeah. Last week he actually smiled at that intern, just a flash, but I saw it." "Where did Luna come from?" "Straight to personal assistant, and special treatment." "Bet there's something shady." "Otherwise why her?" Sour jealousy dripped. I stood frozen, cup in hand. "Shady? I once paid him for sex, does that count?" The door swung open, a colleague exited, startled. Inside, silence turned glacial. I forced myself in, pretending deaf, and reached for the tap. Stairs pricked my back. I accidentally toppled the kettle, scalding water poured over my hand. Ah! Red skin blazed, tears flooded. The others froze, no one moving. As I spun for cold water, a tall figure burst in. "What happened?" Ethan, drawn by my scream, took in my scalded hand, his face darkened to polar night. He swept a chilling glance over the gawking women, words unnecessary, his aura made them shiver. Then, without a word, he grabbed my wrist and strode to the sink, yanked the faucet on, and let the cold water rush over the back of my scalded hand. His movements were urgent, yet his touch was gentle. The icy stream dulled the burn, but my heart hammered at the sudden intimacy. The entire pantry, no, the whole executive floor, plunged into dead silence. Necks stretched, jaws hit the carpet. Their untouchable, iceberg CEO was crouched in front of me, carefully rinsing a clumsy intern's hand. The image was absurdly harmonious, breathtakingly surreal. "I'm finished, even the Hudson couldn't wash this clean." I stared at Ethan's profile, lips pressed tight, brows locked, eyes flooded with worry I'd never seen before. Something slammed into my chest, soft and sore. After 10 full minutes he shut off the tap and towed me out. He never looked at anyone, yet the sea of suits parted like Red Sea. Straight into his office he pulled me, dug out the first aid kit, uncapped burn cream, and dabbed it on with feather-light strokes. His fingertips were cool, reverent, as if I were porcelain. Eyes down, cheeks on fire, I couldn't look at him. "Stay away from the kettle from now on," he said, voice husky. I didn't do it on purpose." My whisper was barely audible. He stayed silent, finished the dressing, and finally lifted his gaze. "Does it still hurt?" I shook my head, warmth flooded every vein. Not a single throb left. I almost felt the burn had been worth it. My phone buzzed in my pocket. "Best Chloe on WhatsApp, Luna. Sterling's forum is exploding. Photos everywhere, what's up with you and the CEO?" Attached, the exact moment Ethan knelt, cradling my hand under the faucet. Headline: Arctic Titan kneels for intern, who is this girl? I saw stars. Within an hour the post hit 100K views. Ethan and Luna became Sterling's hashtag of the year. I stabbed me in the corridor, envy, awe, popcorn level glee. Even the cafeteria lady slipped me an extra drumstick and a wink. I wanted to evaporate. Ethan? Cool as quartz, acting as if he hadn't personally fed the rumor mill. I braved his office. Sterling, about the forum, does it still hurt? He cut in, glance on my gauze. No, sir. Good. He slid a small box across the desk. Use this. Inside, imported scar gel. Apply 3 times daily, burn scar easily. My throat prickled. He remembered. Thank you, sir. Anything else? The apology died on my tongue. He clearly didn't care about gossip. I turned to leave. Sophie swept in, scarlet dress blazing, gift bag swinging. Assistant, I heard about your little accident. So careless. Her smile dripped venom. She brushed me aside, set the box on his desk. Zane, I flew these cufflinks in from Milan, thought you'd love them. Ethan didn't spare a glance. Not interested. Her smile cracked. Zane, I said, not interested. His voice rang arctic. He looked past her. Luna, you'll accompany me to next week's design pitch. My jaw dropped. Core team meetings were partner level. Sophie recoiled. You're bringing an intern? She'll sink the bid. She can learn. Others just decorate the room. Her cheeks went livid. Ethan. Literal meaning. He rose, lifted my draft from my folder. Strong core concept here. We'll polish it tonight, stay late. He spoke only to me. Sophie might as well have been vapor. The door slammed behind her so hard the painting shook. Awkward silence. I snuck a peek. He was already annotating my file, Sunday. His baritone turned explanations into music. I forgot the drama, brain humming with ideas. Hours dissolved. My stomach growled. Ethan glanced up, amused. Hungry? I'm fine, what do you want? I'll order. Really, anything, state it. I caved. South River, the Wonton Shack. Instant regret, too far for delivery. He tapped his phone anyway. Minutes later, let's go. Go? South River. My brain blue screened. We took his private elevator to the garage, slipped into the obsidian Maybach. He shed his jacket, sleeves rolled, forearms carved, lazy, lethal. I sneaked glances, every neuron danced. His brow was loose, lips curved, relaxed for once. Weird magnetic field indeed. The tiny shop huddled in an old alley, neon halo, tables spilling onto pavement. The Maybach stuck out like a tux at a tailgate. Head swiveled. Owner beamed. Luna. Long time. What filling today? 2 triple pork, auntie. Her eyes flicked to Ethan. Handsome boyfriend you got. I flushed, but Ethan simply inclined his head, silent confirmation. Heart, fireworks. Corner table, steam rising between us. Regular haunt, he asked. State days. Best wontons on earth. So my assistant has grounded taste. Grounded? They're culinary miracles, Michelin. He never lifted his spoon, just watched me demolish mine. You eating? Watching you enjoy it beats eating myself. Curse the blush. Pink bubble infinity loop. Afterward we strolled the lamplit lane, shoulders brushing. Talk spilled, films, games, dumb memes, he knew them all. He laughed, low, warm, when I declared I'd conquer the design world. I'll hold you to it, he said. Looking at his profile lit by neon, one thought screamed, "Luna, you are so gone." Back at the tower we refined the deck, finishing each other's sentences. He'd reach, I'd already slide the file over. Midnight came and went. When we finally saved the final deck, our hands brushed on the mouse, equal parts spark and certainty. Before I knew it, the clock had slid past midnight. "Alright, that's it for tonight." Ethan closed his laptop. "I'll drive you home." I packed up and followed him out of the tower. The city at this hour had shaken off the daytime roar, it felt almost peaceful. The car stopped at the curb outside my loft. I unbuckled, but I couldn't make myself get out. "Ethan, thank you for tonight." "Thank me for what, dragging you out for wontons or working you until dawn?" He arched an eyebrow. "Both," I whispered. He studied me, eyes unreadable. The air inside the car turned thick again. Suddenly he leaned in. My heart pounded as I squeezed my eyes shut. Is he going to kiss me? I haven't even brushed my teeth. But the kiss never came. Instead, something warm brushed my forehead. I opened my eyes to his face inches away, tenderness pooling in his gaze. He had pressed his lips to my forehead. "Sleep tight." "See you next time," he said, voice husky. I floated out of the car and stood there, fingers pressed to my skin long after his taillights vanished. The spot still tingled, as if his mouth had left a spark. I felt light enough to lift off the ground. The bid day arrived. I wore the tailored suit Ethan had sent over, subtle makeup perfect, walking beside him into the conference hall. My first high-stakes corporate event, nerves and adrenaline tangled together. Industry titans filled the room, Sophie hovered near her father, the VP. When she spotted me, jealousy rolled off her in waves. I straightened my shoulders, no way would I embarrass Ethan. The presentation flowed like silk. Ethan commanded the stage, logic razor sharp, our core concept gleaming. Then the QA. One judge lobbed a savage technical curveball, zeroing in on a tiny data point. Ethan hesitated, this metric hadn't been in his prep binder. Silence ballooned. Every stare drilled into him. Sophie's smirk curved higher. My stomach lurched, I knew that number. We had argued over it past midnight, and every decimal was burned into my brain. Without thinking, I leaned to his ear and breathed the figure and its supporting theory, fast and low. Shock flickered across his face before his mask snapped back. He turned to the judge and calmly repeated what I'd just fed him, fleshing it out even further. Applause erupted. The harsh examiner actually smiled. I knew, we had won. Afterward Ethan strode out, mood soaring. "Luna, you were stellar," he praised. "All thanks to your leadership," I answered, glowing inside. Helping him felt better than any compliment. We never got the chance to celebrate. Thunder cracked instead. Victor stormed over with legal, face purple. "Ethan. Still cheering?" "We lost." "Impossible," Ethan snapped. "Oh, it's real," Victor snarled. "They just disqualified us, our proposal supposedly plagiarized the rival's core concept." "Plagiarized?" I gasped. "We sweated over every letter." Victor's glare slashed to me. An intern with mighty big opinions. "I say you're the mole." "I didn't." My whole body shook. "Sure," Sophie chimed, "Dad, I told you, she came from nowhere, got cozy with confidential files. Bet she sold us out for cash." "You're fired." Victor jabbed a finger at me. "And we'll sue. Start counting the damages you owe." My mind imploded. Fired? Jail time? Millions? Colleagues whispered, eyes branding me traitor. So she's why the CEO favored her. Wolves in sheep's clothing, huh? I stood freezing under the accusations, tears blurring. Then a warm, steady hand closed over mine. Ethan stepped in front, shielding me like a cliff against a storm. Victor, mouths are for food, not slander. Proof? He swept the room with an arctic stare. Touch one hair on her head before you've got it, try me. The floor went stone silent. Victor's cheeks twitched, but he barked, 70% overlap is evidence enough. And in turn, had full access. Did she? Ethan's smile was icy. Others saw that file too. His gaze sliced to Sophie. She flinched, chin jerking up. Why look at me? I'd never hurt Sterling. You know exactly why, Ethan mocked. He ignored them and squeezed my hand. Stay with me. 3 words, and the cold retreated. I nodded, clinging to that tether. Come. He guided me through the gauntlet of stairs back to his office, sat me on the sofa, pressed a mug of hot water into my palms. I'll dig until I hit truth, he vowed, crouched before me. Trust me. I swear I didn't, my voice cracked. I know. He wiped a tear with his thumb. I believe you. Then he was on calls, in video meetings, dispatching orders, razor calm. Watching him, I felt invincible. With him in my corner, the sky could fall and I'd be fine. By afternoon his assistant burst in, waving a folder. Ethan, we've got it, photos of Sophie meeting the rival's project head, plus her bank statement showing a $5 million wire. He scanned the file, frost glazed his eyes. He offered me his hand. Let's reclaim your name. We strode back to Victor's office. Victor and Sophie were huddled inside, they froze when we entered. What do you want? Victor barked. Ethan said nothing, just flung the folder. Photos found across the mahogany. Sophie's face bleached. Photoshop. Fabricated. Forged. Ethan sneered. And the $5 million that magically appeared in your account, also forged? Police are on their way to verify. Police? Sophie shrieked, clutching Victor. Dad, fix this. I can't go to jail. Victor stared at the evidence, then at his daughter, trembling with rage. He slapped her hard. You stupid girl, what have you done? Truth out, jealousy had driven Sophie to pinch my flash drive and sell our files, hoping to erase me. She'd thought she was invisible, Ethan had simply allowed her rope. Colleagues gawked as reputations flipped. Eyes once scornful now flicked between awe and pity, awe of the man who would torch a VP to protect me. When the dust settled, Ethan laced his fingers with mine and led me to the elevator, top floor, the all-hands auditorium. He walked us onto the dais, lifted the mic 2 things, his baritone carried to every corner. First, Luna is innocent. Sophie sabotaged the bid. Luna, in fact, saved it. Second, he paused, turning, gaze softening as it met mine. Then, before 1,000 employees, he spoke the words that stopped time. Luna is my girlfriend. The room petrified. A heartbeat later, bedlam. Screams, gasps, whistles, a tidal wave of sound threatening to rip the roof off. I stood wooden under the spotlight. Did he just? Girlfriend? When did we vote on that? Gaping, I met his calm grin. He muted the mic and leaned in. I'm dead serious, Luna. I'm in love with you. Be my girlfriend, officially. Not a decree, an asking. In front of everyone, he was pleading. Joy detonated in my chest, every hurt evaporated. Tears shimmered, and I nodded so hard my hair flew. Yes. His answering smile could melt winter. Then, with the whole company watching, he tipped my chin and kissed me, soft, sure, claiming. The auditorium erupted all over again. I feel like I'm living inside a dream, one so sweet it can't be real. After we went public, my place in the company flipped 180. I'm no longer the little intern everyone bosses around, I'm officially the CEO's wife. Colleagues who once side-eyed me now fight to be friendly. Luna, coffee run? Let me brew it for you. Luna, these chips are addictive, try some. Even the cafeteria ladies look at me with mother-in-law glow, the same way they size up a son-in-law. And Ethan has slipped into full, brainless wife-spoiling mode. He quits hiding the favoritism, he drives me to work and back every day, shares every lunch, and looks at me like I'm a slow-motion fountain. The company forum has junked the gossip threads and turned into our real-time CP fan site, updating our daily sugar spills. OMG. CEO peels shrimp for his girl himself. My ship. During the meeting his phone wallpaper is Luna's grin. Fresh sighting. CEO hands Luna his black card, shop till you drop. Speaking of that black card, I suddenly remember the service fee note I stuffed into my bag like a scarlet letter. That night, in Ethan's loft, I shuffled the card and the crumpled receipt toward him, cheeks flaming. Here, returning these. My face is redder than a baboon's but. He freezes, then a low laugh rumbles out of his chest. His shoulders shake as he tucks me against him. You kept them? I forgot to trash them. I bury my face in his shirt. Silly. He ruffles my hair, voice syrupy. Did you really think I was waiting in a place like that to get booked? I blink up. Then why were you there that night? Business meeting, he says, tapping my nose. My contact bailed, so I waited alone. Then you stormed in, drunk as a kitten. So, the whole thing was a screwball mistake? Then why didn't you explain? Why'd you keep pretending? I can't finish. Because, he whispers against my ear, breath hot, watching you solemnly place an order was the cutest thing ever. And, I don't know why, but the second I saw you my whole mood lit up. My heart skips. That flutter wasn't one-sided after all. We were sprinting toward each other from the start. Once the truth about the escort mix-up came out, life felt rigged in cheat mode. At work Ethan became my personal mentor, under his coaching I leap from clueless intern to designer who can run her own drafts. In life he spoils me rotten. My seat, permanently shotgun in every car he owns. When my period cramps hit, he botches but keeps trying to brew brown sugar ginger tea. When I stay late, he cook from scratch midnight snacks. When someone upsets me, he's angrier and pulls every string to stand up for me. I'm basically marinating in honey, every day tastes sweet. Then mom rings, voice stern, come home. Now. My stomach drops. Back in my parents' living room, mom and dad sit like two judges, faces grave. Luna, tell me straight, are you dating someone? My heart thuds, has the gossip chain reached hometown? Why, yes, I mumble. Mom slaps her thigh, knew it. Johnson saw you climb out of a luxury car driven by some guy. Child, why hide a boyfriend? What does he do? Is he decent? Does he treat you right? Question hailstones pelt me. Before I can answer she barrels on, girls must protect themselves, don't fall for sweet talk from rich dudes. I've fixed you a date tomorrow with Aunt Lee's nephew, a civil servant, stable and honest. Mom. I yelp. I already have a boyfriend, no blind dates. So what? Until there's a ring, keep your options open. Trust me. She's ironclad. I'm one big headache. Ultimate mama girl crisis. Mom demands a setup when your man is a billionaire CEO, what do? I'm still flailing when the doorbell rings. Mom opens to a suit-dripped knockout holding premium tonic boxes, Ethan. Good evening, Sterling. I'm Ethan, Luna's boyfriend. Sorry to drop in uninvited. His smile is humble velvet. Mom gapes, ping-ponging her stare between him and me. Dad shoots up from the sofa. I drag him inside. Why are you here? Your tone on the phone worried me, he murmurs, eyes tender. The living room freezes over until Ethan bows, formal. Sir, ma'am, I know this is sudden. I love your daughter. I'm dating her, intending marriage. He pauses, voice steady. I realize you fear she might be hurt. I vow to shield her every single day of my life. No mention of billions, no promise of luxury, just raw sincerity. Mom studies him, scrutiny softening. Young man, what line of work? I run a small design firm, he answers modestly. Small. Mom mutters, unconvinced. Just then the TV flashes a breaking news ticker. Sterling CEO Ethan announces personal donation of 10 rural elementary schools. His on-screen face is identical to the man beside me. Mom's eyes saucer. You're that Sterling CEO? He gives a sheepish nod. Yes, that's my company. Mom, Dad, tomb silence. Finally Mom croaks, dragging me aside. Honey, be honest, did you kidnap him? Me, Mom, your brain circuitry is something else. Turns out no family crisis can survive a billionaire son-in-law who's hopelessly hooked on your daughter. If one appears, add the buff devoted to the bone. After cycling through shock, suspicion, and the surreal vibe of did our kid save the galaxy, my parents accept reality. Once Mom hears Ethan roasted the VP in front of the entire tower and still cook from scratch for me, she looks at him like he's her own son. Shall Ethan, our Luna was spoiled, bear with her temper, okay? Shall Ethan, don't skip meals, I'll bring chicken soup tomorrow. Watching Mom's 360 pivot, I learn the meaning of mom-in-law gaze. The longer you look, the better the son-in-law. Family crisis solved, our bond grows cement solid. We grocery shop, binge films, sprawl on the couch battling video game bosses like any ordinary couple. He escorts me to design expos I love. I tag along to business galas he finds dull. At every banquet he introduces me to partners, my fiancée, Luna, pride roaring. I evolve from shy to beaming, arm tucked in his, bathing in envious smiles, heart calm and bright. Tonight is Sterling's annual gala. As the boss's fiancée I arrive in full regalia. Ethan delivers a rousing speech from the stage, applause thundering. Then comes the lucky draw, grand prize, $1 million sports car. Employees hold breath as names spin on the screen. It stops. Luna. A beat, then cheers, whistles, playful booing. Rigged. Shameless PDA. President romance level maxed. I'm tomato red, half laughing, half groaning. This man flaunts love 24/7. On stage he grins into the mic, looks like all my luck is pulled into my fiancé. He stretches a hand. Sterling, come claim your prize. Skirt gathered, I climb the steps under every retina. He takes the mic, then, bends on one knee. A velvet box appears. Inside, a diamond detonates light. The hall erupts. Marry him. Marry him. Hundreds chant and sync. Tears smear my vision as I stare at him, nervous, hopeful, his dark eyes mirroring only me. Luna, his voice trembles, from the moment you crashed into my suite you switched on every light in my world. I bless that alcohol, your recklessness, every cosmic prank that steered us together. I don't want you as my girlfriend, or even my fiancé, anymore. I want you as my wife, the one and only Sterling. Will you? I'm laughing through tears, nodding like a bobblehead, hand shooting out. Yes. 1,000 times yes. He slides the ring on, stands, crushes me to his chest. Confetti cannons burst, applause reigns. Pressed to his steady heartbeat, I flash back to that absurd first night, me tipsy, pointing, any good? He had whispered, try and see. Now I know the answer. This man isn't just good. Every part of him is flawless. And I'm signing up for a lifetime of testing. Thanks for listening. On a scale of 1 to 10, How would you rate our story? If it melted your heart, smash like and share with friends. We can't wait to read your comments, drop them below, and don't forget to subscribe for more swoons. See you next time.